Good afternoon, everyone. I see we have some early
Good afternoon.
participants. Kelly, I'm going to make you a co-host right now. Can you tell me who from on your team is on the line?
Hi.
Hi.
I have Quincy, and I think we maybe only have Quincy today. Yeah, so he's gonna hold it down for us.
Okay.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
Make everyone co-host.
Hi.
And then
Hello. Hello. How's it going?
Hi. Who else is here?
Okay, so I'm going to activate a waiting room, and I'm going to put everyone who's not a co-host right now into the waiting room.
Does anyone know how to put the image of ourselves in our little tile?
Yes, so when you go to settings,
Video settings? Let's see.
video settings, yep,
Okay.
then you can select it there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so it's just us.
Aw.
1 minute till show time.
Okay.
I'll put a note in the chat just to say that we'll start in 1 minute, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. Same show, like we've done this before, so I'm not too worried. I just didn't know if you guys had anything for me that we didn't want participants in the room yet. FYI, we had 37 RSVP, and my show rate hovers at about 60%. So we might get a little over participants. And then in terms of, remember we asked like what positions they would be interested in. Majority of them hit aligned journeyman, and some of them asked about customer service or customer relations roles, like front desk customer relations roles.
Yeah, so I can, perfect. So our lineman, line assistant, that's perfect with Quincy. You can take that. I can take admin, customer service. So typically that's gonna be like our call centers, how they would start with that. So I can happily talk through that. We could also do another one of these that's like specific to call center if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Quincy can take most of the line assistant, and then I'm trying to find the video did we play a video last time? I feel like we did. Trying to find my video. And then did I send it to you or did you play it? Did I play it?
Your team played it last time.
Okay. Quincy, you don't have the video, do you? Okay, I didn't think so. All right. Quincy, I like your haircut, by the way. Looks really good, I know. Yeah.
Got a whole new look you're sporting.
I know. I like it. Yeah, it looks really good. You are on mute. You can unmute yourself when you're ready. I mean, I can kind of see what you're, yeah.
Yeah, I said minus the gray.
Oh no, I like it. I do. I think it looks good. Anyway, okay, so let me try to find this video while we get started.
Okay.
And but I'm sure I have it somewhere. I mean, I do have it somewhere. I had it bookmarked, and then Chrome did an update and lost all my bookmarks. So all week I have been like scrambling to find stuff that I normally just like have.
I've been there
Sorry.
before, unfortunately. I have
Yeah,
been
I was like, what the heck? I mean, I'm like, yeah, it was so weird.
yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Okay.
But I think
So-
Quincy, anything from you before we start?
No, I know Cheryl had a lot of information as far as how the line assistant and apprentice program. That I know some of it, so I'm can't go too much in depth with it, but I can I know about it.
So our numbers are.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that's fine. I can fill in, or you can just do high level. Either way, it's
Yeah.
fine.
All right.
So you let me know when you guys are ready and I will let all of our participants in. I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to send a reminder to everyone who's registered.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 42 registrants now. Jeez Louise, you guys are popular.
Yeah, that's so long.
Send confirmation. Send confirmation. And like 105, I will let everyone in, FYI.
Okay, I have the video that I can ready now. I'll play that. Is there something when I share on here? If I need to have the sound work, you know?
Yeah, so when you click share screen, if you click it right now, there's a little tick, like a little checkbox at the very bottom, and it says share sound, and I forgot what the other button says, but there's two buttons right when you go to share video.
Got it.
You want to enable both of those.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
What I hit to allow closed caption. Is it right there? Oh, God. Let me put do not disturb on. You gotta love Apple. Everything rings at the same. My watch is ringing. My phone is ringing. And your computer. Okay, go sit down, please, or you have to leave the room.
I just finished coloring these stars.
1 minute. Give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, live transcript. There we go. Enable. Okay. So for those who need it. All right, Quincy, I'm going to start letting everyone in.
Okay.
Close the room as well.
Hi.
Hello there. We're going to ask
Hi.
everyone at this time to stay on mute. Give us 1 second. We're allowing everyone to come in from the weight room.
Okay. Thank you.
Are we allowed to record this meeting?
It is being recorded. All right, I'm going to pin you two and myself. Okay, welcome everyone as you trickle into the room. My name is Sasha Knox. I'm the Job Placement Coordinator at San Diego City College. It is my honor to have you all here today for the SDG&E Employer Informational and Hiring Fair. We thank you for joining with us today. In a minute, you're going to hear from some experts from SDG&E about the industry of the lineman and journeyman, as my email had requested. We do ask that during all presentations today, that you'll remain on mute. There will be a time assigned for question and answer. At that time, we'll use the raise hand feature, or feel free to throw your questions into the chat and we will get to all of them at your designated time. We'll remain on mute just to make sure that the meeting doesn't get chaotic or we lose any of our main participants. Today's session is recorded, and so anyone that has RSVP today, you will get access to the recording, contact information, and any additional application steps in a follow-up email. I will at this point go ahead and kick it off to Kelly for her to do her introduction, and then Quincy to give us a little bit more information about the lineman position. So I'll stop blabbering. Thank you again for joining us, and Kelly, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. Hi, I'm Kelly Worth. I am from SDG&E. I'm a staffing advisor here. So I do a lot of our hiring, especially in our electric regional operations departments, as well as our gas. And I've been here for about 4.5 years. So I have a lot of experience hiring for a lot of our positions here. We're excited to talk to you guys primarily about the line assistant program, which is what leads into our apprenticeship for linemen and then becoming a journeyman lineman. I know we might also be able to touch on a few other jobs, like our customer service, what we call an energy services specialist role. So we can talk a little bit about some customer service and yeah, those types of positions as well. So we can get started. I will thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and I'll let Quincy talk to us about his experience, kind of go through who he is, how he got to where he is, you know, in his career with us, talk about the line assistant, and then, you know, into apprenticeship. And then we'll kind of show a video for those that, you know, if you're interested in really digging into a little bit more of the details of what the line assistant program is, we'll go into that as well. And then we can go into our some of the other questions and that kind of thing. So kick it over to Quincy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Quincy White. I'm the construction manager here in Orange County for San Diego Gas and Electric. A little brief history about myself. I'm originally from Texas, Houston, Texas, that is. I started off, I graduated from Texas Tech University in a bachelor's degree in psychology. And I played football. I was drafted. I played football for Kansas City for like 4 years. Really didn't you know, reach the goals I wanted to reach, got hurt a couple of times. So figure out, you know, it's time to get back into the workforce or whatever. You know, my dad, you know, was a big inspiration on me. He worked for Phillips Petroleum for 40 years. So I would always see him come home, you know, with a Phillips shirt on, company shirt on. And, you know, we had all the mugs and all that kind of stuff in our kitchen, you know, and that kind of like, you know, I was like, you know what, my dad has had a solid career, you know, and that's what I wanted to look for. So I actually at the football, I was actually a probation officer for a little bit in Houston. And then I got tired of sitting in the office. You know, I was still young at that time, you know, wanted to be out in the sun. So I saw a line crew working outside my office. They were changing a pole out. So I was like, hey, that looks kind of interesting. You know, they're climbing the poles, they're being physical. They're having fun, you know, you hear all the yelling out there, they're having fun with each other, you know, laughing. So I went out there and talked to the foreman. I said, hey, what is this? You know, I had no idea what it was, right? But he gave me all the information as far as, you know, what they do. And he gave me, you know, the number and information where I can go to sign up if I wanted to try it. So I was like, you know what? I think it took me like a week to think about it. And then I went down to the union, joined the union. and I started off as a laborer, right? And was there for like 5 years through my apprenticeship, moved to San Diego as a lineman. I got hired on just like that. I mean, it was like a phone call. I just got hired on. And they set me up in you know, downtown by Petco Park. I was there for like a month. It was great, you know. And like I said, I was a lineman, and then I went into management 6 years after that. Still working in the construction side, and all the way up to what they call a relief fault van, fault finder. And then now I'm went to supervisor, then construction manager. So my progression was kind of quick because I knew exactly what I wanted to do, you know. But by knowing that, you know, I made sure that I surrounded myself, you know, with the right people, and also surrounded myself around the right jobs to get the knowledge that I need to know, you know, in order to get to where I wanted to be. So, you know, lineman is, you know, if you don't know, you know, lineman is a great position because, you know, you can go anywhere where in the world and work, you know, just like I came to San Diego because I always wanted to come to California. And I just looked it up with the union. I said, hey, they have work in California, they have in Oklahoma, they have in Hawaii, where you want to go. So it's almost kind of like the you know, the traveling nurse's job. You know, you can just look at the board and see what's available, see what the pay is and the per diem, and then you just choose which one you want to go. So it was like that. So I like that flexibility, but most of all, I like the you know, pretty much we're always working under, you know, almost any kind of element that happens in the world, you know, whether it's, you know, storms, earthquakes, whatever, you know, you're needed, you know, and not only just linemen, but just like in the electric construction field, you know, that's with all the positions that go with that, you know. And as far as I know, Kelly, Kelly wanted me to touch on the line assistants and apprenticeship. The line assistants and apprenticeship here works kind of like you would see it pretty much in the industry everywhere else, where, you know, line assistant is like the first part of getting into the apprenticeship, right? It's like the first step where you learn the basics, you know, and once they know you can go through, you can pass those basic skills, and then you move up to the apprenticeship, and the apprenticeship have several levels that you need to go up to pass, like your first year, your second year, third year apprenticeship. And once you pass those steps, along with the physical part of it, and also the testing part of it, and after so many hours, you then become a journeyman lineman with the company. And once you become a journeyman lineman, it's like it's just everything's opens up to you, because, you know, right away you are, you know, you're one of the leaders. You know, you're teaching these younger guys who you know, who are trying to come up, you know, the skills that was taught to you. Even linemen that come into the company that were at other, you know, in other states or whatever, they may do some things kind of different. You're always teaching, you're always learning, and it's I couldn't even, I mean, I'm so happy that I was able to come here and get the experience I did, and I can just pass that on now. So, I mean, I started off, you know, as a lineman coming in the company, and now I'm a construction manager now. You know, I've been here 18 years. Don't plan on leaving or anything like that. So I love it. I mean, every day it's a challenge. You know, it's a challenge. So if you like to, you know, be around and work on like new equipment that, I mean, you know, all the solar thing is going on, I mean, all the things that's going on now, I mean, you're a part of it, you know, and you see it every day. You see as it's evolving, and it's just an exciting job, you know, and it's I can't really tell you how happy, I mean, even right now, just talking to you guys about it, but it's just a fun place to be. And I hope you look into it. And when you do look into it, look in everything about it. You know, you don't have to just be a lineman. You know, there's other things that you can do here, you know, with the company. And hope to see you, you know, on board and really look into it. It's a nice place. I hope that's enough information.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just talk a little about how to kind of get in. He mentioned our line assistant goes into the apprenticeship. We hire line assistants twice a year. Typically, we look about April and October. We have about 15 to 20 that we hire externally that we bring it on, and so, like I said, that's about twice a year. They do the line assistant is similar to a groundman position. If you, where you, like Quincy said, you're just kind of learning the basics, that kind of thing. They're at all of our districts. You're usually going to be in that position for anywhere from a year to 18 months. It could be as short as 6 months, as long as 3 years, but typically it's about a year to a year and a half. And that is, after that, when the apprenticeship opens up, then yes, then we move people into the apprenticeship based on seniority, because it is a union position. We also, yes, women can work as linemen. I know the title is totally like linemen, and I know that's, but we do have some females, and yes, absolutely. So good question. Yeah, so absolutely. So I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, so then you would go into the apprenticeship. At the apprenticeship, which you can start as at line assistant or in the apprenticeship, then you start taking classes at City College. There's some electrical theory, different things like that that you also have to know, and we partner with City College to go through that. Company pays for those classes. So the company covers that. And then, and even if you come in at a different, like we are focusing on this on our line program, but the company does offer, it's about $5,200 a year will cover for continuing education. So any classes, if to work towards your degree, that kind of thing, the company will pay for that as well. So regardless, company pays for continuing education. And then once you become, like I said, apprentice, it's, as Quincy mentioned, 3 years, a certain amount of hours, and testing, that kind of thing, and then you can become a journeyman or a journeywoman, and then and then you're kind of set from there. In terms of positions for people with disabilities, yes, we obviously are we'll do any sort of reasonable accommodations. I'm not sure if it would be the right position, but there are definitely other ones that would work. That'd be just fine. We are San Diego Gas and Electric, for someone who just asked a question. We are here based in San Diego only for our company, as well as South Orange County, which is where Quincy is. However, every state, and like Quincy said, around the world, everywhere has power, like utility, like power. So you can work for any utility or union anywhere once you become a journeyman. To be a lineman or line person, there is a certificate at City College. There is not a certificate at City College currently. There are certificate programs through a couple other avenues, though, if you were interested in that. But no, unfortunately, there isn't a local one.
There is not a certificate, but I do want to reiterate that there are specific classes that Kelly's recommending that you would take. And then it is an apprenticeship program, correct, Kelly, that they would be partnering with SDG&E. And I want to make clear that if you are identified in that apprenticeship program, SDG&E is an educational partner and helps pay for that program as well. So there are some free classes that we can definitely get that information to you, that there's not a set certificate. There are classes that we highly recommend that you take, so that when you're in that application pool, you're on the right journey. And then as you take your steps to from lineman to that apprenticeship, that is the certificate. That is the program. Sorry, it's not a certificate that City College offers.
Awesome. So so it sounds like someone's asking if you can send the classes, so that would be good. And then I know that there's a few other jobs you guys want to go into, so we'll hit those. I'll go back to those questions once I just play the video of kind of what is required of the line assistants. Let's just go through that first, and then we can go into some of the other positions. Okay, I think that should answer some of those questions that other people are asking about. So quick 5 or so minute video, and then we can, like I said, talk about some other ones. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to share my screen. And it's going to ask me to share sound. Optimize for video clip.
The path to becoming a journeyman lineman at SDG&E starts as a line assistant. It's a pre-apprentice position when the feeder pull into our 3-year, 6,000-hour apprentice lineman program. Line assistant candidates must attend and successfully complete a 5-week orientation at our skills training facility. The first 3 weeks of the orientation consist of overhead and underground training. Your mechanical aptitude, physical, and mental abilities will be tested in both formal classroom and field settings. All candidates will be required to pass 4 overhead field assessments during the first 10 days of the orientation. Any candidate that does not successfully pass the assessment by day 10 will be removed from the program. Candidates must also maintain an 80% GPA on written testing during the formal classroom training. During the overhead underground segment of the orientation, you'll become familiar with the tools and materials commonly used by line crews and the duties and methods required to safely perform groundwork in support of the crews. Candidates will be instructed on the procedures and methods to safely climb poles and will practice climbing daily in our climbing pit at the skills training facility. Candidates that successfully complete the first 3 weeks of orientation will be given the opportunity to select a work location by current district needs. Your choice of work location is based on seniority and will be your home district for the duration of your time as a line assistant and as an apprentice lineman. At the completion of the 3-week overhead and underground segment of this training, you'll have 1 week of vehicle and commercial driver's license training and 1 week of safety and environmental compliance courses to complete your orientation. For anyone choosing the career path of lineman, you really need to understand the dedication and commitment required to be successful. You need to understand that per the collective bargaining agreement, or what we call the contract, that you can be in the line assistant position for up to a maximum of 3 years. During your time as a line assistant, you may not bid on other positions that may become available, and you must accept the apprentice position when offered, regardless of the location. If you refuse to accept the apprentice position, you'll be removed from the program, and you'll not be able to bid on the position in the future. As an apprentice, you'll attend 29 weeks of classroom and field training at the skills training facility, where you will be evaluated on your ability to safely perform required tasks in the field and maintain an 80% GPA in the classroom. In addition, apprentices are also required to attend and successfully complete 3 years or 480 hours of college-level mathematics and electrical theory in night school courses through San Diego City College. The job requires you respond to call-outs and work extended hours in locations throughout our service territory and in all types of weather. It requires being comfortable and able to work at extreme heights or in confined spaces on high-voltage wires and cable, and you must be physically and mentally able to safely perform your job in all conditions.
Some people come into this trade thinking they know what they're getting themselves into. I'm here to share with you some of the physical preparation that is required to get into this trade. This weight room is just a snapshot of some of the things that we would like to prepare your body for. The lifting, increasing strength, increasing your capacity to handle the loads that your body will have to endure while working out with the crews out on these jobs. We have a couple of areas of the body that we want to focus in on. Your legs have to be in good shape because there's going to be a lot of climbing activities. Good quad strength, good hamstring strength, good calf strength. Then comes the back, where we start to do a lot of bending, twisting, turning. Our core strength has to be good. Then we move into the upper part of your body, the shoulders, the arms. These are areas that really have to be physically fit. Doing lateral raises, curls, bench presses. Then comes the neck There's going to be a lot of lifting, a lot of turning, a lot of twisting with the neck, a lot of observing, and most importantly, our heart, the cardiovascular system. Some of us think because I run 3, 4, 5 miles a day, I'm physically fit for this job. No, you're not. Some of us get in the weight room and we lift all the weights. Will it prepare me for this job? No, it's not. I don't want you to be surprised when you come into this job, thinking that you can do it from a physical and mental standpoint. Don't underestimate this. You've got to train. Be prepared. This is not an easy task. Only a few people can do it. It is a hazardous job. It is a job that's physically demanding and mentally challenging.
You will be required to pass 4 physical assessments that require strength, conditioning, and mechanical ability. These assessments are mandatory and must be completed within the first 10 days of orientation. These are the minimum requirements to become a line assistant at SDG&E. Assessment 1. The first assessment will be building a basic 8-foot 6-pin crossarm in under 5 minutes. Assessment 2 will be to climb a 40-foot pole with pole steps and count to 20 while at the top of the pole before descending. You will be fitted with a fall restraint lanyard for safety. Assessment 3. You will be required to move a pin and insulator from one side of a crossarm to the other side using a crescent wrench to loosen and tighten the hardware without dropping anything. Assessment 4 will be to raise an approximate 90-pound crossarm 40 feet in the air with a hand line and then lower it to the ground while in total control at all times. Failure to complete any one of these assessments would disqualify the participant from continuing in the orientation.
Being a lineman is more than what you see on the job site. It is a way of life, state of mind, and a way of orientating oneself in the working environment. To be a lineman is to embody character traits like discipline, integrity, responsibility, and leadership. Our mission here at Skills Training Center is to provide you with extremely effective training and coaching, giving you the tools to succeed and excel as a journeyman lineman. During the next 3.5 years, you'll need to commit yourself to the vigorous training and schooling required to have a successful career. You need to understand that this is a true sacrifice for yourself and your family, committing to long days and nights, holidays and weekends, and even sometimes some special family occasions. Not only do we seek elite functional fitness, strength, and endurance, but also mental toughness. But we believe that hard work builds character and self-confidence. These qualities build a strong apprentice lineman and allow you to thrive in an ever-changing and vigorous work environment.
Okay, I believe I am no longer sharing. And okay, so yeah, that's our introduction video on there. I'm just closing that out. So I think for right now, we'll take any other questions that are going to be specific to the line assistant, to apprentice or lineman position, especially while we have Quincy, and then we'll take the remaining time to answer and talk about any of the other questions on other positions. So if anyone has any in the chat or wants to, I don't know, put their hand up. It looks like somebody asked if there's an age limit. No age limit. We have people starting younger and older, and some people start this as second careers. I mean, even as Quincy mentioned, this is, kind of his third career. Yeah, definitely at any point is totally fine. Just whatever kind of, fits for you. Let's see, any other questions on that? If you're an IT major full-time at college, is it possible to participate both of them at the same time? Possible, yes. Probably not recommended because you do have to work full-time and go to school for this. I don't know, Quincy, if you have any other
Yeah, my experience with that is, we've had some line assistants or apprentices that were still going to college, but just just something you can work out with your district, in the apprenticeship, and they do have their set days where you have to be there, and you have to be in those classes. So if you can work your school around there and get some rest, it's possible. I mean, as a lineman, I was working, 7 days a week, but I was still able to get my master's in business, and I had to show up to the classroom to get my master. It wasn't online or anything. So it's possible, it's just how much, how bad you want it, and how you can, structure your life around that, with school and work, so it's possible.
Absolutely, thank you. And then, yeah, it looks like, oh, good. Okay, so it looks like I have another question about eligibility. So obviously, eventually, you'd have to live locally to do this work. But as long as you're eligible to work in the United States, without, right now, we don't offer company sponsorship, then you are eligible for this. And then another person asked separately about virtual employment. Clearly, this is not a virtual job. This is something you have to be in person for. And we are going forward in next year, most people are returning to work. We're not going to have any 100% remote work. So that's just, our company's not going to be 100% remote. And then our next question is also for Quincy. It says, do you ever work on solar systems? Quincy mentioned the solar field.
Yeah, we don't work on solar per se, but we prepare, like some companies who are getting solar, we prepare the meter panels. We inspect those. Also, we pull cable into their meter panels so they can prepare for whatever the solar company is going to do. So we don't actually touch the solar. We just make sure that our customers are prepared for, if they do want to have solar, they have the right meter panels and things.
We had a question come through in the chat. Never mind my TA who's behind me here. We had a question that came through the chat. If you're ready to apply today, kind of what are some first steps that an individual need to take?
Let me send you the link to apply. Do you want me to put it in the chat? Or do you want me to send it to you, Sasha? What would be the easiest?
Both, please.
Both? Okay, let me do that. I have a specific link for you guys so we can kind of track. So I'm going to send that. Our next class is probably not going to be until like I said, March or April. Our October class starts Monday. So and we do a background check and drug screen, physical, because as you see on those, as you can see on in the video, that physical fit, you have to be physically fit for this role, not necessarily physically fit like in your looking, but just like like your cardio, that kind of thing. You have to be able to pass a lineman physical. So we send to that. So there are definitely some after the interview, some pre-employment steps that we do go through. Another thing that isn't touched on the video, but probably should be, is this is a safety sensitive position covered by the Department of Transportation. So that means that you have to get your Class A driver's license, which also means you have to be able to be past that, the DMV portion of the physical, as well as have a pretty clean driving record. No one's perfect. The DMV, Department of Transportation, and the company, of course, realize that, although safety is a focus. We do want to make sure that we're that your record is pretty clean in terms of, in order to get that. And then, so that's another thing. So I will send the link. So the sooner, basically, my point in saying all that is, one, to give you all the information, and two, so that the sooner you apply, the better, because we can kind of start through the steps. We usually start interviewing about 8 or so weeks before the start date, so we can get some offers out and then start those, because some of those steps we can't do until an offer is. Also, the position would require, does require random drug screen. So there's pre-employment drug screen, and then you're in the random pool as well. So I will send that. And let's see, I think I answered that one. Let me put this in the chat. Okay, any other line questions that maybe came to you, Sasha, or anyone else? I'm not seeing any additional ones in the chat before I can kind of go into some of the questions in customer service. No others from there. Okay, awesome. Looks like we're losing some people, so hopefully the ones that stayed are want to hear some of the other stuff. So let's see. I'm just scrolling back up. Okay, if we don't have any other lineman questions, Quincy, you're welcome to stay, but I know you're busy and we appreciate your time, so you're also welcome to drop off. So we'll see you next time. Thank you. And I'll go into some of the other positions. Yeah, thank you, Quincy. Let me see. So give me one sec. So customer service jobs, the way, thank you, Sasha. I was just like trying to scroll. The way that we would get into those jobs is typically going to be through our energy services specialist position. That is in our call center. And that is in Kearney Mesa, Balboa and the 163. There are actually, someone asked about work remote, and I should have actually said, I hope that they're still on here. After you've been in that role for about a year, you can qualify for work from home, to be a work from home agent. So that's taking all, that is 100% remote. You do have to qualify for that, meaning you have to have a certain attendance, customer service satisfaction rate, things like that. You also have to have a, so in that role, you're dealing with a lot of the public and customer service in general, and of course, very sensitive customer data. I'm sure, as most of us have probably signed up for some sort of bill for a home or a rental that, you have to give a lot of information. There's just a lot, it's very private. So because we deal with a lot of sensitive customer information, in order to work from home, you do have to have a private room, like a spot for that with a closed door, and have to have, we have help get the whole setup in there with like the screens and everything, but it does have to, you have to make sure that there's a specific area that meets qualifications as well for what work from home would look like in one of those jobs. So that's typically how you get in. We have classes that start, throughout the year for that as well. Extensive training, really great benefits. Our customer service, the energy services specialists right now are starting at $26 and some change, and it is full time, 40 hours. So they make very good money for one of the highest paid call centers that I've seen, at least. So, and then taking all different types of calls, training's great. Like I said, it is 40 hours, schedule changes. We do work, they do work 6 days a week. So Monday through Friday, I think the hours are 7 to 7. We do have people 24/7 for emergencies, but most of the reps don't work the night shift. It's possible later on, but that's kind of a set crew that knows that's pretty much for emergencies only. They're not taking like billing questions or setting or stopping services or anything like that. Saturdays we have a window of hours, and Sundays a very small window of hours. So there are some weekends. I think that right now they work either one weekend day or two a month. It's either once a month or one every other week. I can't remember. But then of course you get a day off in the week to compensate for that, and you wouldn't work those weekend days. So it's not too bad. It's a pretty good gig there too. Let's see, minimum age for customer service. So there is no minimum age necessarily. However, we do not employ any minors. You have to be at least 18 years of age. Another thing that is required with the company is you have to have a high school diploma or GED, and you have to have that completed. So, so that's kind of the minimum. The customer service role does require 3 years of previous related experience. So an 18-year-old could have that if they started working maybe 19, to get the 3 years if they started working at 16. But yeah, you would need some sort of customer service or any sort of related, basically like work employment. So it does have a few years, a 3-year minimum for the requirements there. I don't have the link for that right now, but I can get it and we can send that over. I see a few more questions. So I don't know if admin jobs, if you're asking about this job or another specific admin job. Admin, so that's customer service. Our admin, we would come up every so often. I would check our website. If you go to our website, you can set up job alerts, sdge.com/careers. You can set up job alerts to get notified or just kind of check every so often. So admin come up from time to time. And then let me see here. It looks like, do we accept a high school diploma from another country? Yes, we do, as long as it's the same equivalent. But yeah, I will send the link. I just need to get the link for the customer service. I said a couple people have asked for the link to apply for that. I just don't have it because that's not my realm. But if I give it to you, Sasha, like after this, like sometime this week, you can get it out to them. Okay, great. Perfect. And then let's see. I think that answers a lot of the questions. Engineering jobs, I think I just see one thing that was engineering related. That also will come up from time to time. We do take interns and associates. You do have to have your bachelor's. Interns, you don't have to. You just would be being in school for that. So typically, the majority of our engineering jobs are electrical and some mechanical. So depending on what kind of engineering, and then we do have customer service field jobs that come up from time to time too, like a meter services person. Again, you just have to apply. Usually those come up about once or twice a year, and those will be posted on the website when they come up. The next one won't be till next year. So I think that answers. I know I'm like looking at the time, starting to try to talk fast. So is there any other questions right now before we kind of wrap? And like I said, I will get the customer service link over to Sasha. Anything else? No?
I'm not seeing any in the chat, nor any hands raised.
Okay,
So
awesome.
with the remaining time, I just want to say thank you so much, Kelly, to yourself and your team who were able to come out and provide some amazing information. Oh, there is a question about electrical interns. So that is the link that Kelly will go ahead and send out after today's presentation. She did mention that interns and associates require an associate's degree. Those do come up from time to time to work in electrical engineering as an intern with SDG&E. And so some information will come out via email about that. In addition to SDG&E, I'm going to take the rest of this time to promote job placement services at San Diego City College. So whether you are looking to work primarily with SDG&E or some of the other positions that we heard come up today, like customer service, administration, teleremote, or working from home positions, please do email us at citytrend@sdccd.edu. Just put that in the chat. You can have a one-on-one appointment, or you can get some specific information if you are looking for that in terms of employment for your specific needs through the Job Placement Services Office. We also have full career services available completely online this semester as well. So if you are ready to apply to any of the positions that Kelly may have mentioned today, but need your resume reviewed or would like to do a mock interview, we are here to do all of those services for free with you today. Yep. And never mind my TA. But please do reach out to us, and a reminder to check out our social media. So on Instagram, we are the San Diego City College Transfer and Career, our YouTube page for recordings like today's session, or Facebook, so that you can know about current and future employment events. And last but not least, I will invite you all to join our job board. You can find all the positions that Kelly talked about today, as well as other organizations for your employment needs. I too am talking really fast because I don't want us to run out of time. Are there any other questions that we may not have got to today?
Okay, awesome.
All
Well,
right.
thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. All right. Oh, Sasha, you're muted.
I said, sorry about that, guys. We will stick around for about 5 more minutes, but if you have other places to be or things to do, today's presentation has now concluded. I'm going to stop the recording. Please do reach out to us. Yes, you absolutely can share the recording to other individuals who were not able to join us. The email with all of the contact information, the recording, and all the links to all the positions we talked about today will come out as soon as Zoom renders the recording. So I'll send all of that one email at one time. And you can feel free to send that to not only students, but community members as well. We thank you again for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at the next event.
Thank you.